On these streams, captions are auto-generated. Sorry for the squeak on the straw. Okay, kitchen scissors always go missing. So today we're gonna go ahead and make the cheesecake oats. Forgot to get all the little jars out. Anyway, I tried to get everything ready, but apparently the little jars. And I'm going from memory because I can't find the book that I wrote my recipe down in. I usually have it for reference in case I forget a measurement. We are going to start with the oat bran. So I typically have a recipe that's for 1 serving. And the reason I have that is because I think everyone should probably try it a few times for the 1 serving and figure out the ratios and flavors that they like. They're called cheesecake, they're protein cheesecake oats. So it's an actual protein dessert breakfast that tastes good. I'm using oat bran because it has a higher protein content than regular oats. It's not that significant of a difference. If you don't have it, don't feel like you need to run and get any. And the individual serving that I usually have calls for 20 grams of rolled or quick oats or oat bran if you wanna. That makes the texture actually better. I blend them because I don't want cold chunky oats. But I will say, instead of 20 grams per serving, I have half that. So I'm doing a batch basically times 4, although I usually split them in half to eat them. So this is like 8 servings for me. I'm doing 40 grams instead of 80 of the oat bran. I measure everything on the scale pretty much. So I wanted to do the oat bran first. I typically go ahead and do some blendies. Oh, there's my lid. I was like, uh-oh, did I forget that too, y'all? I'm trying to be fast. So, on Manic Monday, we cut up we stone fruit wedged some nectarines and got some grapes ready. And then last week, or the week before, what was that? Oh, look, we have, excuse me. The week before, I think we did candied nuts, and I still have some. So I want to do the nectarines with candied nuts, at least on one of these to try it. I'm going to pulse this really quick so that I can blend it a little finer. What's that, process finer? Y'all, I don't know the word. I said pulse. I just hit the button and held it. So not really a pulse. Just the button was the pulse. Smells salty. I don't really know why. It's weird. Okay, so it's kind of like a powder. It's all on the lid. That's cool. Now, we gonna add the stuffs. There we go. I'm gonna clear that and I'm gonna keep adding to it. So the thing I like is I don't have to get a lot of measuring cups out, which is why I use the scale so often. So instead of getting all the measuring cups out, I just use this and measure the things. I'm gonna go ahead and add the liquid now so that it keeps things moving. And I usually just run this on the smoothie setting 1 time because it's usually very smooth. But if you find anything gets stuck to the side, like that, like if it was stuck after you blended it on smoothie and it didn't come down in there, you might want to do it again. I do this in ounces, so I typically do 10 ounces of a liquid, 9 to 10. I'm going to err on the lower side because you can always add more. But you also want it to be blendable. So I'm going to do 9 because I have a lemon. If you're doing the lemon flavored, I would squeeze your lemon in there and then add the remaining ounces in your nut milk. And then I usually have my little jars ready so that I can pour into it instantly because this stuff gets pretty thick because it's like a cheesecake, and you'll want to let it set at least a couple of hours if you can before you decide to eat it so all your flavors can get married and all that good stuff. I like to use the citrus press. I also have the zester and juicer. I don't use it very often. Make sure you put it face down. And don't turn this toward you when you squeeze it or you'll have a sleeve full. That might have happened to me. I'm telling you that from experience. So I'm at 10 ounces of liquid, and I think I did about 9.3-ish. I'll wait here. You don't have to do it by weight. I just don't like to do dishes, y'all. And I'm just going to put this over in the sink area. Oh, there wasn't a big cutting board there. Okay, all the liquids in. I'm going to add our Scooby Snacks protein. So I do a vanilla Greek yogurt. Other people have done, y'all, I need to get better at putting up the dishes. Other people do like a plain Greek yogurt in these, or can if you don't want the sweetness, or they add a sweetener to it. I just use the vanilla Greek yogurt, the high protein one, the low fat typically, and I don't add any sweeteners to this other than a sugar-free pudding mix. If sugar-free products bother you, use a regular sugar one. Just know your carbs are going to be a little bit higher for those. So here we are. I got one. So this is the, I think it's pronounced Oikos. Don't come to me for pronunciations. I will jack that stuff up every time. Pro, it has more protein than the other one from what I've found. So I try to get those when I can find them. They're not always the easiest to find. So here we are. And I use 10 ounces of the Greek yogurt for this too, which is basically, this is a little bit more than 10 ounces. I think it's 5.5. But y'all, yep, it's almost 10 ounces. I know there's a little extra that's left in the container. Let's see what it says. 5.3. They're 5.3. So I'm not getting the full amount in here. We're just getting close. So that's about 10. There's our trashiness. I have cream cheese. Now, here's the kicker. If you do not have this blender or one that is really, really good, I would suggest you let your cream cheese sit out or soften before you run it in there, because I do not want you to burn up the motor of your blender. If you need one of these, just let me know, because it is the best. I really love it. I love the sauce function because I like to put cheese in there. I love me some cheese. I love me some cheese sauce. I like cheese all kinds of ways, except for blue. My daddy likes blue cheese. I do not. Okay, let's put that in there. Put this in here. Next up, we're gonna add all of our protein goodness, and then our whatchamadoodles. I'm putting that on the other side. Trashy, and I need to rinse my fungus. Panga. See what I mean by Captain Grogan? There's no telling what that says. Okay, trying to be fast. We got our liquid. Since we're doing 4 times the recipe that I usually share, I'm going to go back to grams. We need 124 grams of this particular protein. If you're using something different, which I don't discourage you to, but they all are different with liquids. So I would say you might want to mess with it a little bit on the single recipe side to see how much you need to add. It's basically 1 serving of this is 31 grams, which is why I'm adding 124. I'm running out, so I'm inhaling it now because we have protein powder in the air. Like it just doesn't care. One of my favorite things about our mixer is that it doesn't do the super dust cloud unless you're like pouring too fast. But it starts off slow so that it doesn't do the dust cloud. Snap. Almost. It's 119 grams. I already pulled the little doodad off of this one, so we're ready to go. And I always keep an extra one of these because I swear most of the time it is buried. Oh, 124. We're golden. I legit inhaled that. See, extra. Always extra. That's me. My son would even tell you the same. Okay. We have our protein powder. Now I'm going to do 40 grams of the, come on, clear, pudding mix. I use white chocolate most of the time because it seems to be like a universal, goes with everything flavor. Unless I'm in the mood for lemon. I love the lemon. And if I want some fruit with it, I'll usually cook down some blueberries because I don't really care for them not cooked. Texture issues. Oh snap. I swear it said 28 grams, but this whole package is pretty much 40. We're just going to call it good. It's 38. So, this one's ready for next time. Perfect. I'm excited. So this is the one that I use. I'll also try to get, vanilla is good too. What I actually do not care for is the cheesecake flavored kind. White chocolate is great. Vanilla is great. The lemon is good. I haven't tried everything else. Well, that was fun. We got a mess. So, word for the live. How about cake? Y'all got a mess. Okay. Got to clean this up. The word cake, message me. I almost always put a link in the description. Hit that link, message me the word cake. That will enter you into this month's giveaway. That's all you got to do. I put it on my little spreadsheet, cut it up into pieces and draw. Typically the beginning of the next month, possibly to the mid next month. I do it, just sometimes I'm not real timely. But anyhow, that will enter you into the giveaway. No purchase necessary for that to get into it. I'm going to put this on and get it ready to blend. The smoothie button is on the dial. I'll get it ready. We're going to hit cancel because I pulsed. Smoothie. I would go ahead and run it with y'all on here at one. It's not super loud because I've heard louder. But all my little jars are over there and I need to get them out before I run that because then it will start to thicken and it will be harder for me to pour and get out. And I got a few other things I need to do tonight. So I'm going to let y'all go. Remember to message me, please, the word cake to enter into this month's giveaway. I think that's it. Holler if you need anything. If you have any questions on the recipe, any ideas of ways to make it better or things to eat with it, like some chocolate. I do have a lemon nut butter. Sounds disgusting, but it tastes like lemon-ish flavor and not so much like a nut butter. It's actually really good on there. So the plain one, just a thin layer of it. American Dream Nut Butter makes really, really good ones. It's not available all the time though. Anyway, I'll let y'all go or I will ramble on and on about how delicious all the flavors of peanut butter are. So have a great rest of your evening. Holler if you need anything and thanks so much.